Are you passionate about community development and you have an incredible idea, a project that you want to implement, but you have absolutely no idea on how to go about implementing it? Hi, my name is Delphine Konda. I'm a founder of a non-profit organization in Cameroon called Girls Excel. And if you have been watching me for the longest time on this channel, then you must know about this. So I just finished a national project where my organization Girls Excel received funding to train 20 menstrual health ambassadors from all 10 regions of Cameroon. So each of the 10 regions of Cameroon was represented by 2 young women who came from far and near to participate in this training. And now I would like to share with you what it takes to organize a national project of this magnitude. So let's dive into it. I'm going to be using my tablet so that we can talk more. The first thing is that you have to secure funding. Funding is very important. So before we even went about sending out a call for application for people to apply for this project, we had already written the grant application in 2025. We secured the funding in 2025 and we knew that we're going to launch the project in 2026. So first things, make sure that you have the money. The second thing, you have to produce a term of reference. This is like a mini guide that will help you to refer information and what are the particular things that you need for this project. So for this term of reference, we literally just went into the project application, removed the important information that was needed. We put it together in a term of reference and then we shared it with the group. We also shared it with the donor, the staff, the team. Everybody had a copy so that it's easier for everyone to understand what is needed. It was like a guiding principle. The third thing was to get approvals on all documentation. So there are so many documentations that you will need, from the TOR, which is a term of reference, to the branding, the agenda, all the documentation concerning this project, like the letters that we send out, because we are putting the logos of partners, because we are dealing with international funders, we had to make sure that we got approval for everything before we send them out. Then we drafted a call for application. So that's also a document that needs authorization. We put it out. It was a Google form and we gave a timeline, a deadline where participants had to apply in order for them to participate in this project. And when we sent out the call, it was clear. We put out the term of reference. We said that we only needed 20 people, but we got almost 200 applications and we had to select 20 people out of almost 200 applications. And that's 198 applications. That was hard work because many of the people that we didn't select were very qualified. The next thing we did was to develop a project brand identity. Why, as Girls Excel, we have our brand identity. Each project comes with its own brand identity because we have to merge our brand identity with the brand identity of the partners that we are working with. And we have to get their approval because you don't just use your partners' logos and brand colors just because you want to. You always have to make sure that they approve. So we sent it to our graphic designer who developed everything that we needed, like message boards, roll-up banners, t-shirts. We had mugs, coffee mugs or water mugs, like water bottles, all of those branded things. We made sure that our partners approved them before we had them printed. We also contacted our partners, from facilitators to government technical services that we work with, to the people that had to come, like the government authorities that had to open the ceremony and all of that. We also contacted our participants, those who had been shortlisted. We contacted them. Weekly meetings were very important for our team so that we can touch base. We have a finance person, we have programs teams, we have board members, we had facilitators. So we had to talk to the different people on a weekly basis so that everyone knew what they were doing and everyone had information to update. And that way we all stayed on the same page, because there were people who were handling finances while there were people who were spending the money. You had to make sure that you reconcile all of these updates with every other person so that everyone was on the same page. We also made sure that our logistics was not just general. Yes, we understood the general things that we had to get, like the hotel. We had to make sure that food, we discussed about the food. We had to discuss about interpretation because Cameroon is a bilingual country, so we needed English and French translation and interpretation. But then in choosing the hotel, we had to look through our participant list and make sure that inclusivity was important. Because, for instance, we had participants who were women living with disabilities. We had to make sure that, like, the hotel has the wheelchair ramp, which is easier. We had to make sure that the hall was not upstairs for those on crutches and wheelchairs, so it's easier for them to come. We had to ask participants if they have any allergy or anything, all those things. We also had participants who could not hear, so we had to make sure that we get someone to do sign language interpretation. All of these things were logistical elements that we took into consideration because they were important for our participants and for the successful implementation of our project. Holding different meetings to brief facilitators and panel members so that each person understands. We had to make sure that the facilitators send us their presentation in advance so that we can confirm that they have understood what needed to be passed out as information in line with the project, the donors' expectation, and our own expectations. So we went through all the facilitators' presentation before they came and we approved them. Then for the panelist members, in line with what we wanted them to share, like their experiences, the positions and offices that they occupied, we made sure that we developed questions in line and shared these questions with them in advance so that they can practice the questions and come to the event prepared to share this information and share the answers with the participants. We also made sure that the different media organs that we invited to come and cover the event gave us confirmation that they were coming. We gave them a copy of the term of reference so that they can also see it and know how to approach the media coverage of the event. We also had daily feedbacking from the participants, like they had a session where they could talk about what worked for that day and what didn't work and how we can improve them for the upcoming day so that we improve the challenges that arose as they were coming and not wait until the end of the training to be able to discuss these challenges. Most importantly, everything was done in advance. We made sure that most of these things were done way in advance. That way it gave us time to deal with sudden changes that happen and challenges that will occur that are beyond our ability to stop them. That way we can minimize these challenges and everything will go on smoothly. I'm very happy to say that the project went on well. Thank you to everyone that made it a success, from our partners, ambassadors who came from all over the country to Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon, to our team members, our board members, and just people who are interested in the work that we do. All our guests came, so thank you very much. If you're ever looking for what are some of the things that you need to take into consideration if you are organizing a project, this is how we organize our events, and I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you very much for watching the video, and until we meet again, please don't forget to create some impact.